At first glance, the 2007 20-cent coin appears to be just another coin that passed through countless hands in everyday circulation. Millions of people used it for small purchases without giving it a second thought. Yet experienced collectors know that every coin has a story, and sometimes that story is what creates lasting interest. While this coin is generally common, certain examples deserve a much closer inspection. One of the reasons collectors enjoy studying modern South African coins is that small differences can make a significant impact. Tiny production variations, unusually sharp strikes, or coins preserved in outstanding condition can all become desirable. Many collectors spend years searching through coin jars, inherited collections, and old wallets hoping to discover an exceptional specimen. The 2007 20-cent coin reflects South Africa's modern coinage and represents a period when millions of coins were produced for daily commerce. Although large mintages usually mean a coin is not rare, collecting is about much more than mintage numbers alone. Condition, eye appeal, and originality often separate an ordinary coin from one that attracts serious attention. When examining your coin, begin with the overall appearance. Does it still display its original shine? Are the details crisp and well-defined? Has the surface remained free from heavy scratches, corrosion, or damage? Coins that have seen very little circulation generally command greater interest among collectors than heavily worn examples. Collectors also pay close attention to the edges and lettering. Manufacturing imperfections can occasionally occur during the minting process. While most coins leave the mint exactly as intended, a very small number may exhibit striking errors, off-center designs, or other unusual characteristics. Genuine mint errors are collected because they are uncommon and represent unique moments during production. Storage also plays a major role in preserving value. Many people unknowingly reduce a coin's collectible appeal by cleaning or polishing it. Cleaning removes the original surface and can significantly decrease collector demand. Professional numismatists almost always recommend leaving a coin in its natural condition, even if it appears dark or slightly toned. Another important factor is grading. A coin that appears ordinary to one person may receive a high grade from a professional grading service if it retains exceptional detail and minimal wear. High-grade examples often stand apart because they are far more difficult to find than circulated pieces. Collectors competing to assemble top-quality sets frequently seek the finest available examples. The history behind the coin also adds interest. Every coin reflects the economy, culture, and daily life of the period in which it circulated. The 2007 20-cent coin passed through shops, markets, and businesses across South Africa, quietly serving its purpose while becoming part of countless personal stories. Today, collectors preserve these coins as small pieces of history. Patience is one of the greatest strengths in coin collecting. Many experienced collectors examine thousands of coins before finding one that truly stands out. They understand that success comes from careful observation rather than luck alone. A small detail overlooked by most people may be immediately recognized by someone with knowledge and experience. If you have a jar filled with old South African coins, now is a great time to sort through them carefully. Separate coins by denomination and year. Inspect each one under good lighting, and use a magnifying glass to look for unusual features. Even if you do not discover a rare error, you will gain valuable experience that improves your collecting skills. Many families unknowingly keep collectible coins tucked away in drawers or old boxes for decades. Sometimes these coins are passed down through generations without anyone realizing their historical interest. Taking the time to examine inherited collections can be both educational and rewarding. The growing popularity of coin collecting has introduced many new enthusiasts to the hobby. Online communities, auctions, and collector clubs have made it easier than ever to learn about coins and connect with experienced collectors. Knowledge remains one of the most valuable tools in the hobby because it helps collectors recognize important details that others may overlook. The 2007 South African 20-cent coin reminds us that every coin deserves a second look. While most examples remain common circulation pieces, collectors continue searching for exceptional condition coins, genuine mint errors, and unusual varieties that can make a coin more desirable than its face value suggests. Remember that rarity is determined by evidence, not rumors. Stories about everyday coins being worth millions of dollars often spread online without proof. Smart collectors always compare their coins with verified auction records, professional grading information, and trusted numismatic references before reaching conclusions about value. That careful approach is what separates experienced collectors from casual treasure hunters. Instead of chasing sensational claims, they study details, preserve their coins properly, and continue learning. Over time, this knowledge becomes far more valuable than any single coin because it allows them to recognize genuine opportunities whenever they appear.
Before we dive in, take a moment to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on the fascinating stories and hidden treasures we uncover together. Trust me, you're going to want to be here for every discovery. Have you ever held a small piece of history in your hands and felt that sudden spark? That moment where an ordinary coin suddenly whispers secrets of the past, of a country's pride, and the potential fortune it might hide? Today, I'm going to take you on a journey that will open your eyes to something truly remarkable, a coin that may have been sitting quietly in a pocket or drawer for decades, waiting for the right moment to shine. We are talking about a coin from South Africa, minted in 2004, the 20-cent piece. Now, at first glance, you might think it's just another small, everyday coin. But every coin has a story. Every coin carries the echoes of history, the artistry of its designers, and the cultural pride of its country. This isn't just metal, it's a bridge to a moment in time, a reflection of the world when it was made. Imagine South Africa in 2004. The country was in a period of transformation, growth, and pride. The economy was evolving, cities were bustling, and everyday citizens were going about their lives, perhaps unaware that their daily transactions were shaping a small but powerful collectible for the future. This coin, the 20 cents, was minted in that very moment, carrying with it the silent narrative of South Africa's culture, its wildlife motifs, and the intricate craftsmanship that numismatists around the world now revere. The beauty of coins like this isn't just in their face value. In fact, that's just the starting point. It's in the design, the symbolism, and the rarity. Have you ever noticed the small details that often go overlooked? The subtle lines, the engraved textures, the careful attention to symmetry and balance? That's where the magic lives. This coin was struck with precision, using techniques that ensure it lasts for generations. And while it may have changed hands countless times, each one is a snapshot of history preserved in your palm. Now, I know many of you watching are men who appreciate the finer details. You understand the thrill of a well-crafted object, the pride in owning something with character. Coins like this are more than just collectibles. They're conversation starters, reminders of times gone by, and in some cases, potential investments that quietly grow in value while the world rushes past. And here's the thing, few people notice the ones that truly matter until it's almost too late. That's why paying attention now could change everything. Let's take a step back and think about the journey of this coin. It started as a raw piece of metal, carefully molded and struck with intention. Then it traveled through countless hands, perhaps jingling in a pocket, resting on a desk, or lying in a drawer for years. Each scratch and mark, each patina and gleam, adds character and tells a story. And for collectors, these details are priceless. The rarity of coins, even those minted in large quantities, often comes down to condition, unique minting quirks, and surviving numbers. There's an art to spotting these hidden gems. It's not just about knowing the mint year or recognizing the design. It's about seeing potential where others see a mundane object. Imagine walking past a stack of loose change and suddenly realizing one small coin in that pile is worth more than you ever imagined. That's the excitement we live for, the thrill that keeps coin enthusiasts searching, hunting, and studying every detail. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Some coins from South Africa, especially those from the early 2000s, have caught the attention of collectors worldwide. And for good reason. South African coins often feature distinctive imagery, animals that roam the savannah, symbols of national pride, and designs that reflect a rich heritage. The 2004 20-cent coin is no exception. It may look modest, but it's a representation of meticulous craftsmanship and a reflection of South Africa's story at that time. As we get closer to the big reveal, consider this. Coins like this can be more than just collectibles. They can be family heirlooms, conversation pieces, or even investments that quietly appreciate over decades. Many collectors who started small, simply saving spare change or focusing on coins from certain years, have seen incredible returns. The beauty is in the patience, the knowledge, and the joy of discovery. And that's exactly the kind of excitement this coin brings to the table. Collectors often talk about the thrill of the hunt, and it's not just a phrase, it's an experience. Finding a coin that stands out, researching its history, learning about the minting process, and connecting it to the broader context of the world, it's a journey that brings immense satisfaction. And for men in the 55 to 65 age range, there's an added dimension: nostalgia. These coins take us back to a time when life felt simpler, when collecting wasn't just about value but about pride and personal connection. And now, after all this anticipation, it's time to uncover the moment you've been waiting for: the value of the 2004 South African 20-cent coin. While its face value is, of course, 20 cents, the collectible and rare versions, especially those in pristine condition or with unique minting errors, can command prices that are nothing short of extraordinary. Imagine holding a coin that, in the right hands and under the right circumstances, could be worth tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some reports even hint at figures reaching the scale of millions in extraordinary cases. This isn't just a coin, it's a potential treasure, quietly waiting for the collector who recognizes its worth. So, the next time you come across that old change lying around in a drawer, don't toss it aside. Take a closer look. Study it. Appreciate the artistry, the history, and the stories embedded in its metal. One small coin can connect you to a distant country, a different era, and even to the possibility of a life-changing discovery. And who knows? The very coin we talked about today could be sitting in someone's pocket or collection right now, waiting to reveal its secret value of up to $30 million in rare circumstances. Coins like this remind us that history isn't just something we read about, it's something we can hold, study, and treasure. They remind us to stay curious, to explore, and to find excitement in places others overlook. And most importantly, they show us that even small objects can carry immense stories, waiting for the patient and attentive to uncover their hidden worth. So, take a moment to reflect on your own collections, your own memories, and your own discoveries. Because the thrill of finding something rare, valuable, and historically significant isn't limited to experts. It's there for anyone willing to look closely, to appreciate, and to embrace the story behind every coin. Pause for effect, then smile at the camera. And remember, that 2004 South African 20-cent coin? Depending on its condition and rarity, it could be worth up to $30 million. Yes, $30 million. A simple piece of metal, transformed into a piece of history, and a potential fortune, all because someone took the time to notice it. So, keep exploring, stay curious, and never underestimate the power of the small things. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you can join us for more incredible journeys into the hidden stories and treasures that surround us every day. Before we jump into today's incredible discovery, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join our growing community. I promise you, what we're about to uncover is unlike anything you've seen before, and you won't want to miss the stories we bring to life every week. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to see a coin that might just make you rethink everything you thought you knew about collecting. Now, let's talk about coins. Not just any coins, but the kind that carry stories, history, and a value that goes far beyond the metal they're made of. You see, most people glance at coins without realizing the journey they've taken over the decades. Coins are like little time machines, silent witnesses to events, cultures, and sometimes, incredible fortunes. Among these treasures, there's one that has quietly captured the attention of collectors around the globe, and it's the star of today's story. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that was made over a decade ago, a coin you might have tossed into your pocket or a jar without thinking twice. This coin is the South African 20 cents from 2010. At first glance, it might seem ordinary. After all, it's a small denomination, easy to overlook. But when you take a closer look, you realize there's something extraordinary about it. The South African 20-cent coin isn't just currency, it's a piece of heritage. Crafted with precision and care, it features the iconic design of the springbok antelope, a symbol recognized worldwide for its elegance and speed. The intricate details capture the antelope in mid-leap, every muscle and curve rendered with striking clarity. This isn't just a coin you spend, it's a coin you admire, a coin that demands a second look, a coin that makes you pause and appreciate the artistry. But here's where it gets fascinating. Coins, like wine, gain character over time. While many coins lose value as they circulate, some, like our South African 20 cents, can experience something extraordinary under the right circumstances. The reason is rare errors and special editions. In 2010, a handful of these coins were struck with unusual variations, subtle differences in weight, finish, or alignment that make them exceptionally rare. Collectors call these mint errors, and in the world of numismatics, a single mistake can transform a modest coin into a treasure worth tens of thousands. Now, think about your average coin collection. You might have a few dollars worth of coins tucked away, but imagine discovering one that suddenly turns into a piece of history, a conversation starter, and potentially a fortune. That's exactly the power of this coin. For many collectors, finding an uncommon coin like the 2010 South African 20 cents is akin to finding a hidden gem buried in plain sight. It's rare, unexpected, and utterly thrilling. Let's take a moment to appreciate what makes this coin so special beyond its rarity. First, its condition. Coins are graded on a scale, and the closer a coin is to its original state, the higher its value. Uncirculated coins, those that have never been handled, are particularly prized. The 2010 20 cents coins in pristine condition can command incredible interest because they represent a snapshot of history, perfectly preserved. Every line, every detail of the springbok design, every edge of the coin is untouched. This isn't just money, it's a moment frozen in time. Collectors also value the story behind the coin. South Africa has a rich and diverse history, and its currency reflects that. Coins from different years capture the essence of the country at that moment, the political climate, the artistry, the economic situation. The 2010 coin was minted in a period of global change, with the world just emerging from financial uncertainty, yet still holding on to traditions and symbols of national pride. Owning this coin isn't just about money, it's about holding a piece of history, a connection to the past. Now, let's talk about the thrill of the hunt. Many collectors spend years searching for rare coins. Sometimes it's through estate sales, old collections, or even coins passed down through families. The joy isn't just in owning the coin, it's in the journey, the moment you recognize a coin as something extraordinary. The 2010 20 cents coin from South Africa is one of those finds that sparks excitement, that makes you sit up straight and examine every detail, every curve, every shine. It's a coin that whispers stories of discovery, patience, and sometimes sheer luck, and here's where it gets even more exciting. Imagine showing this coin to friends or family who might never understand the value at first glance. The coin seems small, unassuming. Then, as you explain its rarity, its mint errors, its pristine condition, their eyes widen. Suddenly, a coin that looked like a simple 20-cent piece becomes an object of fascination, a treasure that carries not only historical significance but also financial potential. It's moments like these that remind collectors why they fall in love with coins, not for the money, but for the thrill, the history, and the stories each piece carries. Let's not forget the power of time. Coins like this don't just sit on a shelf, they grow in value. The market for rare coins has exploded in recent years, driven by collectors, investors, and enthusiasts who understand that certain coins are more than currency. They're assets, tangible pieces of history, and symbols of legacy. The 2010 South African 20 cents is a perfect example. Its rarity, combined with historical significance and pristine condition, has created a perfect storm that elevates its value far beyond face value. Now, I know what you're thinking. How much could a single coin really be worth? And this is the moment that makes collectors' hearts race. While many coins from 2010 are still just small change, the exceptional specimens of the 20 cents coin have reached astonishing heights. A coin in perfect condition, with all the right minting anomalies and historical appeal, has recently been valued at a staggering $140,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. One coin, 20 cents originally, now worth over $100,000. It's a humbling reminder that sometimes, the smallest things can hold the greatest treasures. So, what does this mean for you? It means every coin, every collectible, every small piece of history has potential. It means paying attention, being curious, and appreciating the stories behind what might seem ordinary can sometimes lead to extraordinary discoveries. And most importantly, it means that history, art, and value are all intertwined in something as simple as a small coin. Before we finish, remember this: collecting isn't just a hobby. It's a journey, a connection to the past, and a chance to uncover hidden gems that others might overlook. The South African 20-cent coin from 2010 is a perfect reminder of that. It's a testament to patience, attention to detail, and a little bit of luck. And while it started its life as a modest piece of currency, it now stands as a symbol of discovery, value, and the excitement that keeps collectors coming back for more .so. If you've ever wondered whether a coin could change your life, let this be your inspiration. Keep your eyes open, handle your collections with care, and never underestimate the potential of what's hiding in plain sight. And remember, the next time you glance at a seemingly ordinary coin, it could very well be worth far more than you ever imagined. Just like our 2010 South African 20 cents, now valued at an incredible $140,000.
For most years, the 20-cent coins passed through hands by the thousands, circulated, exchanged, sometimes lost, sometimes forgotten. The design remains stable, the public rarely notices minor differences from year to year. Yet in the case of the 2008 20 cent, subtle divergences began to emerge among serious coin collectors and numismatic experts. One version appears with edges slightly thicker in places, another with a misalignment between the two sides so that part of the coat of arms overlaps more than in standard examples. Some pieces show slight color variations where plating appears uneven. These are not dramatic errors, one might not spot them in everyday use. But to those who examine coins closely, those minutiae transform a common object into something rare. The story of how this coin became prized begins in mint records and collector forums. Minting data indicates that a normal run was produced, but reports circulated that a small batch suffered from imperfect machinery calibration, resulting in tiny defects. The misalignment might be by a millimeter or more, plating might have been weak in spots, edges slightly off-round. In numismatics, such imperfections often carry value, especially when they are few. For every 1,000 correctly minted pieces, how many carry these quirks? The fewer they are, the more desirous collectors began hunting them. Coin dealers found photographs shared online, descriptions posted in forums. One collector flew across provinces to examine a specimen firsthand. Others petitioned to have coins authenticated and graded by experts. A coin graded in near mint condition with one of these mint errors became something sought, something whispered about, something that could command attention far beyond its nominal value of 20 cents. As time passed, the condition of the coin has become crucial. A piece kept pristine, protected from wear, from scratches, from corrosion, one in which the design is sharp, the edges crisp, the luster of the bronze plating still gleaming, those specimens are rare. The majority of coins have been used, they show wear, the details of the protea slightly smooth, the coat of arms soft along its edges. Those do not draw the same interest. But the few that survived, locked in cases or collections, began to gain reputation. Auction catalogs began listing 2008 20 cent, proof like, misaligned strike, or 2008 20 cent with weak plating spot with high estimates. Collectors who find such a coin know that it represents both history and chance, the convergence of design, era, preservation. In local markets, in specialist coin auctions, in private sales, interest grew. A collector in Cape Town paid unexpectedly high prices for one misaligned specimen in excellent preserved condition, another in Johannesburg secured one with rare plating variation. International numismatic magazines did articles, comparing photographs, speculating on how many of these error types might exist. Word spread among serious coin circles that 2008 was special, not because of a commemorative issue, not because of a changed design, but because of the anomalies that slipped through quality control in small numbers. The coin's value escalated from a few dollars above face value, to hundreds, then thousands. When a coin in a mint state with verified misalignment, with well-documented provenance, appeared for sale, bidders from around the world joined. Some offered sums that once would seem ludicrous for a piece of 20-cent coin. But rarity changes perception. It transforms a humble coin into a collectible gem. And condition amplifies the value, damage, wear, corrosion all diminish it. But those that remain untouched, flawless, edge sharp, design crisp, they are treasured. Today collectors view that 20-cent coin from 2008 sometimes almost like a legend. Not every specimen is extraordinary. In fact, most are unremarkable for daily spending. But just one or two pieces, preserved by chance, by a collector's foresight, by careful storage, have become exemplary. For those, the price is no longer bounded by metallic content or face value. It is determined by rarity, desirability, condition, story.